very important to be aligned body, mind and spirit, right? And by that I mean it's a whole package, okay? You have to look the part, you have to make sure that, very important, you're wearing comfortable shoes because you will be walking on the garden, you'll be, you know, climbing up and down stairs because you're going to show the gym, the pool, you know, you'll be...
basement.
Yeah, and maybe on that day, the lift might not be working. So, you know, you'll have to climb up and down stairs. So it's very important for you to be comfortable. If you can, you know, show the properties in 6-inch heels, hey, good luck to you. Well done. Success. Go ahead and do it, right? But be very mindful of the way you dress, the way you look, the way you're presenting yourself, because you're going to be showing the property to people from all walks of life, right? From all backgrounds. Make sure that you're dressed neatly, appropriately, yes. And very important for you to have, you know, very important for you to understand the property that you're showcasing, and for you to, you know, to do justice to that viewing and to the person who's given you this chance to serve them and to rent out the house or sell it, okay? So it's your time to shine. Make sure you show the property, you know, every nook and every cranny, all the amenities. Make sure that you show how things work, right? You just don't go into a kitchen and say, yeah, this is a fully fitted kitchen. Use the correct terminology. You know, open the oven, show them the drawers, how everything works. Go to all the rooms. Show the property off.
Literally.
100%, yes. Okay. So like product knowledge.
So we start with product knowledge.
Very
Make sure
important.
you know your property in and out.
That's right.
Once you are confident that you and your team know the property in and out, the next step, make sure you're well presented. Your presentation is key. You're dressed appropriately, comfortably.
That's right.
And then next, what next in the...
Next, punctuality is very important. Okay. Very important to make sure that you have called the caretaker. He's ready for you, because most of the time what happens is when you're showing properties, it's the caretakers who are responsible unless you have the keys yourself. Be on time, agree on where you're going to meet, make sure you're there 15-20 minutes because of traffic, etc., right? Also, if you're going to meet now at the property itself, on site, be there half an hour before, just to make sure that everything is fine. If you need to turn on any lights, you need to open the windows, right? Walk around the property, all that needs to be done. And once your client arrives, whether you're going to meet them at a fuel station or on site, ensure that you come out, you greet your client respectfully. It's very important for them to feel like, oh, wow, you know, she's
that was my biggest aha.
100%, yes. Not just, yes, please come into the house, Mr. So-and-so, I'll see you in the living room. Or just come up to 7th floor. No. What if they come to the parking, and unfortunately on that day, you know, the security guard is in a bad mood and he's not friendly, and you're not there to receive them, and you just tell them come to the 7th floor, the lift is not, you know, it could happen.
That was the biggest takeaway for me, because you know, when you show a property again and again, you don't remember that this person is seeing it for the first time.
That's right. You may have shown the property 100 times to different clients, right? But this is their first time with you. Okay?
And they get to the parking, they're lost.
Correct.
So for you pointing that out, that receive your client from the parking, that alone for me was like...
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it makes the person feel special.
Absolutely.
And I've seen the difference. I've seen the difference it makes.
How was that? I'd love to hear from you.
I mean, it just makes a difference. Because before, I would just direct the person. And I'm embarrassed to say that.
No.
I'd be like... Okay. I get to the property early, and then I let the askari know that I'm expecting Evone at 1 p.m. She's coming in a grey car. Please let her in. And then I'll tell the client the house number and the floor. But I wouldn't meet them at the parking. So I'd be waiting inside the house. So let's say the house is on 5th floor. I'd be waiting inside the house and sometimes at the lift. But now I come down to the parking.
Yes.
I say what you told us. Welcome to,
Yes, that's right. So if you're at, for example, yes, if you're at, Pyramid Park, you say, welcome to Pyramid Park.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Yeah.
And it makes such a big difference.
Absolutely.
Just taking the person
Yes.
from
just
the
have
car.
fun with it. Just treat people how you want to be treated, right?
That's a game changer. And it makes someone
100%.
feel more appreciated. They don't get lost,
Yes.
because they would get lost in the parking, or they don't know, where is the main entrance of this house, for example.
That's right.
It takes a lot.
You know the property in and out. They don't.
They don't.
Yes.
And sometimes we forget that they're a visitor. You'd not let your visitor just
No.
come in.
Absolutely
You'd
not.
meet them and tell
You'd
them
meet
welcome.
them, and when they're leaving, you'd say goodbye to them, escort
a
them until the parking
dignified,
lot. Yes,
respectful-
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And remember, it's all about sacred encounters and memorable experiences. That's what I always see. It's very important for people to remember you in a sweet way, in a nice way. Whether they take the house from you or not, they will always remember, oh my goodness, that viewing with Wendy was just
amazing.
If anyone is looking for a home, trust you me, they'll say, please call Wendy. Yes.
So we've met our client, give them a good welcome.
Yes.
How do you proceed from there?
We've given
now
them
the actual physical showing now starts.
Yes. So I think everyone has a unique style of showing properties, right? So it's very important for you to be in alignment with your own style. Okay, how do you want to start? The best way would be to just look at the layout of the property and then you take it from there. So wherever you are starting from, you will always have a layout to work with. So the guest bedroom could be on the ground floor as soon as you walk in, on the right, so you start from there, and then show them the main entrance lounge, take them to the dining area, the visitors cloakroom. It all really depends on your style, it depends on your vibe, and it depends on the layout of the property and how comfortable you are, right?
So you need to understand the layout and the flow.
It's important to understand the layout of the house. It's important for you to understand, like I said earlier, the finishing, the fitting, what kind of tiles have been used.
Describe.
Use the right terminology. The countertops, are they granite? Are they marble? What are they? Right? And that's it. It's important to just take them to every part of the house and encourage them to ask questions. Okay? Encourage them to ask questions, encourage them to take pictures and videos, because this will make it easier for their reviewing process, right? They are most definitely not going to see just one property.
Yeah.
They may see several. So be open with them, encourage them to take pictures and videos, let them ask questions. But the right thing would be to talk about the property as you go along and make sure that you have practiced your pitch. Even if it means standing in front of the mirror, it doesn't matter how great you may think you are with your pitch, but it's important to just tell yourself, yes, today I'm showing Mr. So-and-so the house, and this is what I'm going to say, Good to see you, how are you, welcome to Pyramid Valley, and then, there you go. And make sure that you will now just talk about the property, have a layout, structure it, and just go ahead and show and describe the house.
And show them. You also taught me that you show, if you're seeing the water pressure is high, open the tap.
That's right.
Show them how every detail, so the details matter. We shouldn't think only of the house.
Yes, details matter.
Because, those small things really make a difference. Water pressure in the house.
Yes. And as you know, Wendy, we have to network in this industry because, a lot of people have the properties that you want, but you don't have access to them. Maybe they're working with one sole agent who's been given the mandate to sell or rent that property. So in my experience, unfortunately, they may not do justice to that property. They could be on their phone, you know, they will just say, yes, this is how the water pressure is.
Yeah.
And they're not really showcasing the product well.
I like
And
the
that's-
word showcasing.
And yes,
Showcasing.
so that's why I say that if you're saying that the water pressure is great, please open the tap and show your client. Let them understand and let them believe you. Because it's all about what?
Details.
Relationship building, details, customer service.
Showcasing. I love the word showcasing. And so on the point of showing, I'd like to find out two things from you. One, what is your policy on showing a property when the landlord is very involved in the property? Do you let them take the lead? Do you ask them to wait aside, or how do you navigate that when
Yes.
the owner is very
I love
hands-on,
that.
especially
I love
in
that
a sale?
question. I love that question. I think it's important to understand that we all have the same vision here.
Yeah.
And there are some property owners who are great estate agents, if I can say that, okay? They have a great pitch because they're very passionate about their property and they want to show it off and talk about it. And what you need to do is probably mentally prepare your client and say that this is how this owner operates. They would like to also be part of the showing process, the viewing process. So, and if you know that they definitely do a good job, it's okay to incorporate them in the viewing.
Yeah.
But if you feel like this person is unfortunately going to kill the vibe, then I think you need to have in place in your contract as you sign off and tell them that these are our terms and conditions. You can be on site. If you need to open it, lock it up, please be on site, but kindly allow us to show the property. This is one of our terms and conditions, if you don't mind and if that's okay with you, because some clients feel like they only want to discuss, you know, the preliminary viewing only with the agent.
With the agent.
So gauge. It's all about gauging the
Case by
situation, case by case. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's important to definitely give owners a chance if you feel like they're going to 100
Add value.
add value. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yes.
So case by case.
Case by case.
And then
If the owners want to be present at the viewing,
yeah,
they're welcome. But you can just tell them, we will show the property, and once they leave, I'll update you and I'll let you know exactly how the viewing went.
so you
Because a lot of
communicate.
people, you know, unfortunately, will ask a lot of personal questions. Oh, where are you from? And
that can be
you know,
stereotypical.
yes. And then what happens, the next thing you know is that the client
It's
has taken
uncomfortable.
offense.
And it's easy to take offense,
Yes,
right? Even
of
if the
course.
landlord
'Cause-
didn't mean it.
Correct. Because we all come from all walks of life. Okay.
So it's
But yes, I would
important.
say
gauge. Okay. And then my second question is, when you're showing properties, do you start, you personally as Evone, do you start with your best or your worst? Let's say you're showing 3 properties.
yes.
A stunner, a middle one.
I love this question again.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, Wendy, we're very selective. And I'm not saying that from an obnoxious point of view. Okay? So, by that I mean, it is so important to make sure that you are going to show a property that you would like to live in. Doesn't matter low end, mid, high end, no, right? The quality, okay? Are you showing someone a house that you will rent yourself or
very
buy?
important.
It's very important. So at Eden Heights, we do our level best to have very good listings.
And I've
Okay.
seen that.
So that's a very hard question to answer, worst or best, but I understand what you're saying. But again, as cliche as it may sound, save the best for last, right?
Save the best for last.
You know,
So in a day-to-day situation, you save the best for last.
Yes,
But
yes,
it's
yes,
important
yes.
to make sure all are amazing.
that's it. That's it.
Make sure all are amazing and then save the best for last.
We do not, if we know that a developer has been shady and they have cut corners and the development is not structurally sound and there are several shortcuts, we will not list that property. It's very important as you are building your name, your reputation, your brand, to be associated with quality.
Quality is
It's
key.
not about having 1,000 listings on your website, even 10.
10 good
It's okay.
ones.
Yeah, you reap what you sow. As I always say, it takes time. It takes time, right? Yes.
So I like what you're saying about the behind of the scenes of the property, not just taking on a listing, but making sure that you're delivering quality.
That's right.
That will help build your brand, that you don't mislead, because the client trusts you, has entrusted you. It's important that we don't misuse that
Yes.
opportunity.
Correct. And it doesn't matter location. Okay. So it could be a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment in Kitengela, Syokimau. It could be a beautiful townhouse in Muthaiga. The point is quality. Who are you partnering with? What type of developer? Is it someone who just wants to make a quick buck? Or is it someone who's here thinking about long term? Making a difference, making an impact, making a difference in people's lives. Right? Quality over quantity. 100%.
Quality over quantity.
Yes.
So how do you handle, Evone, an amazing person who you like and doesn't bring you a property that is up to your standard? Amazing client, property is not up to standard. How do you navigate that situation?
What we would do is we will tell them that we are going to introduce them to a couple of the agents that we network with who could be interested in now listing their property. We will also say that, look, we're going to do our level best with this property. We may not list it on our website, okay? But, you know, I mean, it's easier said than done. We will, of course, continue to keep in touch with this client, but go about it in a very diplomatic way. Because there are people who will still take the property. I mean, look,
Out of
I would
courtesy.
100% because of relationship building, right, you know. And there are properties, you know, initially when we started, where we've had listings and we know, we sort of find out later on that this may not have been the ideal, okay? But what we do is we have been very transparent and very
With the
open
owner?
with the person who's taking the property, with the person who's also buying the property. We will tell them that, look, we have this property, it's within your budget, but please understand that these are some of the problems. Perhaps you can have a, you know, one-on-one with the owner, the property management company, to see what they are going to do about maybe the cracks, for example, the plumbing situation, you know.
Just being honest.
Transparency
So when there's
Yes.
an issue,
saves you many sleepless nights. Be honest.
Which are many
If there
in
is
real
something
estate.
that you do not know, for example, when you're showing a property, someone asks you a question about the generator or a technical question about the borehole. If you do not know, please say you do not know, and that you will get back to the client, and do get back to the client. Find out from whoever will tell you, and be forthright and be very open, right? If you don't understand something, say it. You know, if you know that something is wrong, be open about it.
upfront. Don't wait for the
100%.
client to discover.
No. Because what you give is what you get.
What you give is what you get.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I like that point, that don't hide anything.
No.
If there is something wrong, let the client know, and then they make a decision.
Yes. I think it's very important to be open with the owners, people who are renting out, people who are selling, right? Let them be open with you. Understand the property. Understand about what are the challenges in this property. Okay, is there a problem with the generator? Is there a problem in the kitchen? You know, do you want to do renovations? Are you going to upgrade, etc., etc.? Because when we're all on the same page and we're honest, there are no surprises. So when you're showing the property, if someone asks you a question and says, is the owner willing to change the bathrooms? You know, can he redo the kitchen? Now, if you've had that conversation already with your landlord, you can openly say, yes, we will change it. You know, the rent might be slightly higher. If you want to take the property as is, this is how much it is. You know, transparency
is key.
100%, yes.
Okay, so we've talked about pre-viewing, during viewing, post viewing. What do we do? What should we do? Client has seen the house. You've shown them. You've showcased the property.
Yes.
And you've finished showing the property. What are the next steps after?
Yes, I think the next steps would be that you must follow up. Strike while the iron is hot, they say, right? So follow up, find out, you know, just get a vibe of what they thought about the day, about the viewing, get some feedback as soon as possible. Would they like to view more properties, or have they decided which one they want to take? If they tell you, you know, Wendy, we'd like to see a few more, carry on. Show them a few more, right? Ideally, once you have understood the client's requirement, which is a very important element, you will not waste anybody's time. Take even an hour of a meeting. Have a meeting with the client before rushing. There are times when people will call or email and say, I want to see this house. And you say, okay, sure, let's go. But take your time. Try and understand. Share your email address with them and get them to share their requirement in as, you know, let them share as many details as possible. What's on their wish list? What would they like? Location? How much? How many bedrooms? Is it close to malls, etc., etc.? Let them put all that down. Once you have that, you will know exactly how many listings to send them. 3, 4 should do it.
That meet their needs.
Yes. Once they see that, they'll say this yes, this no, this yes, this no. Then you take them for viewings. Once that is done, they'll tell you, yes, Evone, let's close on this. Once they've given you that go ahead, the next thing to do is get them to commit on email and say, yes, we're fine with the terms, 2-month security deposit, quarterly payment, we're fine with the asking price of the rent, and let's move to the next steps. You will then also, you know, pass this information on to your landlord, who will be very excited because you have, you know, managed to close and find him a tenant within a week of him giving you the property, because you're the rock star agent, right? So
yes, thank you.
Then now we proceed to formal paperwork. It's very important for you to send across a tenancy form, you know, tenant agreement form, where they share their details, previous landlord, as much detail as possible, so that everyone knows that you have a vetting process in place to avoid future problems, you know, difficult tenants, etc. Right? And then you will of course ask for the necessary documents, PIN, certificate, identification, prepare the lease, and then proceed to sign off and payment and handover. Before the handover, you do a move-in inspection with someone from the landlord side. If you're representing them, great. But yes, most of the time, landlords will have a manager who takes care of the properties, and then the tenant as well, the prospective tenant, walk through the house. Again, every part of the house, have a checklist in place, and then you make sure that, you know, a couple of days before they move in, everything is done, clean, tidied up. I agree on a handover date. You make sure that the leases have been signed, payment has been made, you know, and then you rock up with a bunch of flowers, chocolates, whatever they like.
I like that.
Personal touch. It's very important.
Makes all the difference.
Yes, yes. It's, look, you know, you're finding someone their dream space to live in. That's their home. That's where they're coming to. At the end of a long day, to be with their family or to be by themselves or whatever the situation is. It's a big day for them. The handover is a big day for them, or they're moving into a space where they're going to be working if you're renting out a commercial space. So this is a big day. It's a big move. So you have to be part of that handover and make it memorable for them, right? So yes, and then you sign off, you hand over, give them the keys, show them the house, show them how everything works.
Show them how everything works.
Yes,
wow,
important.
That's an important point.
Yes, yes, because they need to know, you know, if they need to put in any tokens for the electricity, how the water bill operates, the pump, the inverter. Right, they're moving into the new house.
And not to make any assumptions.
No, that
like
he knows.
Exactly. I'd like to give you a
have to
story that happened 2 years ago. There's a house I rented, furnished in Westlands. And I rented it out to this glamorous couple, like young, glamorous couple. And they were well-traveled and everything. So I assumed they know everything. I mean, it was wrong on my part. But it turns out that she didn't know how to use a washing machine. She didn't know how to turn on the cooker. And I mean, so when you say after handover, go back and show them, I see what it means. And don't assume just because someone is rich, glamorous, and all of that, that they will automatically know.
Let's not assume. You have to do your part.
We have to do our part.
Yes.
So that was a huge learning step for me, that even the washing machine, you have to show them this is how you use it.
Absolutely.
This is how you use the microwave. Show them everything.
Everything and how it works.
I'm okay with this.
Yes. And then once the handover is done and everyone is happy, part ways. Once you get to your office, most important, do an introduction between now the tenant and the landlord, numbers that they need to call, who they need to speak to in case there's a problem with the townhouse itself, the property, whatever property it is.
You're dealing
right? If you are the property management company, you may necessarily not be managing the inside of the property. The landlord will definitely have someone who you can call.
Yeah.
Right? But us as property managers, we also manage the inside as well of some homes. So you'll do the introduction. And then, very important, to keep in touch with the client. Every now and then, you know, send a message.
See if everything is okay.
How are you? Hope you've settled in well. You know, once in a while, just say hi. Just wanted to say hi. Yes.
Wow. So it's important to remember that after you've shown a property well, go all the way.
Yes.
Make sure you hand over well. Make sure they settle in well, and check after some time, after they've moved in, if they're going well. So that it's a whole package and that you're continuously building the relationship.
That's right.
It doesn't stop at
it
showing the house.
No, it doesn't. So Wendy, I have a question for you.
Yes, Yvonne.
So you mentioned that the Apple, the mentorship program that Eden Heights Realty offered you.
Yeah.
You sort of, you know, were inspired, and when you did your first property viewing after that, you made sure that you welcomed your client at the parking lot, and it made a difference.
And showed them everything. I opened the pump, showed them the water pressure, told them the name of the security company, told them the name of the alarm. I remember I texted you that day, it was in Karen, and I showed them everything. Literally.
Amazing.
To the detail. Who is the internet provider? I showed them everything, and I was so excited.
Wonderful. So apart from that, how has the Apple added value, and how has it helped you, and you know, what has it done for you?
It's done a lot for me. One, it has instilled in me the values of, reminded me the important values, not just in business, but in life. Integrity, empathy, teamwork. You know, the empathy part is very present, because you see, what I saw as Apple is that everyone is a team, and that's why everything is flowing seamlessly. That your caretaker is just as important as your person in the office, and for me that is very good to remember the humanity behind the business.
Right.
Apple taught me that, and Apple also taught me to think of the long run. So building relationships, building trust, making and having fun,
Yes.
that as you're an agent, you're also a person behind that, and it's important to make sure that all those are flowing together. And it was really an amazing opportunity for me.
I'm so happy to hear that.
I'm really grateful, and I was excited for every session.
I am so happy to hear that. I remember our first conversation,
Yeah.
the preliminary meeting that we had, and I was explaining why we wanted to offer this program. Every other person wants to be an agent in town. Everyone wants to sell property, everyone wants to rent a property, but very few people know how to go about it in the right way.
Yeah.
I'm still learning myself. I still have a lot to learn, right? But our thinking as Eden Heights Realty was that collectively we have many, many, many years of experience. I've been in sales and marketing and customer service for 26 years now.
Wow.
Okay, I have been in real estate for 11 years, but that's just me alone. We're talking about, say, 50 people in the organization. So you can imagine how many years of experience in different fields. So we thought that it's very important to share the little that we know and make an impact. So even if it's going to be one great estate agent that we're going to create through this program, we're happy.
Wow.
That we want to take out to structure a program, offer it every month. So we're going to have a 4-week course where we're going to have intense training on estate agency and property management. So we're working on the structure right now, and we look forward to launching that in May.
In May? That's in 2 months? In a month?
We're now, this is mid-March, right?
Mid-March. Okay, so a month and a half.
Yes, about a month and a half, yes.
Can people come back again?
100% yes. If it's Wendy, absolutely.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Evone.
Thank you, Wendy.
I will share with everybody your Facebook handles.
Thank you.
Yvonne is fabulous. You have to follow her. Follow her on Facebook. Follow her on Instagram.
Thank you so much.
And you will learn a lot.
Thank you.
And thank you, Yvonne. You're making a difference.
Thank you so much.
And I'm really happy. Every encounter with you is a sacred encounter.
Thank you, Wendy.
It is.
I've really enjoyed this interview. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And keep doing what you're doing. You're the bomb.
Thank you, as are you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.